Hi there, this is James Swanwick, and you're listening to the Alcohol Free Lifestyle Podcast, where you learn how to take back control over alcohol and live a life of health, wealth, love, and happiness. Is moderation a myth? Well, we're going to find out today. This is the final part in a three-part series with our former client, Steve Wilt, who's a financial services manager in Akron, Ohio, who's in his late 50s. And as I was saying in the previous two videos, this was recorded in Sedona, Arizona at our 2024 annual AFL Live retreat, where Project 90 clients, Beyond 90 clients, and our leadership clients all come in for our annual get-together. I hope you enjoyed part one and part two. This is part three, where Steve talks about moderation being a myth for him. You'll also hear some Project 90 and Beyond 90 and leadership clients asking him questions, where he does a little Q&A here. So enjoy this final part of the three-part Steve Wilt series.
And I really want to share this with those that are in Project 90 right now. Number one was moderation is a myth. Believe it to my core. Tried it twice, doesn't work. Moderation is a myth. So if you're thinking, and when I say that, it's moderation is a myth if you got this far. I'm glad that I tried, because now I never have to worry about it again. I know it's a myth for me. I would have always wondered. So if you're thinking about it, just take my word and don't try and moderate. The game is rigged, right? Glamorization, addiction, it's a poison, all the different things. I go to Whole Foods and I look at the fruit, fresh fruit, and right above it is those things they call mom waters, right? Pink seltzers, designed right there for women to grab and take home as they're being, like, it's just crazy, it's rigged. You have to decide eventually, I'm gonna drink or I'm not. You just gotta make the decision. And then you do have to tell someone, because if you don't tell someone, you can always go back on it. You gotta face the past, but move on. I had 38 years of this. I wish I had done it when I was 21 like my son. I wish I had done it 8 years earlier, but I can't change it, right? So I'm just gonna move on and keep getting younger. We talk a lot about this in P90, knowing your purpose and your why. I hate that I modeled it for my kids. I hate it. But now I'm gonna break the generational addiction in my family. It's gonna stop here. You're not giving up on anything, you're gaining everything. You're not giving up on anything. Eventually, you just don't. I play poker with my buddies. I see them more now than when I was drinking. I was sharing with some of you yesterday that. And I see them more than before. No one cares. It's a big one. No one cares. And coaches taught us that. After the first round, after people say, you're not having one? After that, they don't care. They move on to their own life. Have all the seltzer you want all night, with soda with water, with lime. Nobody cares. If you combine exercise and nutrition with being alcohol-free, it is the fountain of youth. It all builds on itself. And then finally, it's important to keep your community after Project 90. I've got several Project 90 alums I stay in touch with. It's important to keep that community, to keep going, to have that accountability. I do want to take this opportunity to thank James, Victoria, and Sarah. You've changed my life. You have changed my life in such a profound way, and you've changed all our lives. So I can't thank you enough. Let's hear it for them.
This podcast is sponsored by my eyewear and sleep optimization company, Swanwick. If you suffer eye strain from computer use, you find it challenging to focus and concentrate, your sleep is poor, you have low energy, you're tired and sometimes experience anxiety, then it could be because you're staring into screens all day and night. Swanwick produces stylish blue light blocking glasses to help you sleep better and generate more energy and focus during the day. A Harvard University and University of Washington published study revealed that Swannies wearers reported sleeping 14% better during the night and were 9% more productive during the day. That's huge. Swannies are currently worn as a sleep and performance aid by professional athletes at teams including the Dallas Cowboys, New York Knicks, Manchester United, and many more. They've been featured on media including The Dr. Oz Show, Live with Kelly and Ryan, and The New York Times. I personally designed Swannies back in 2015, and they've now helped almost 200,000 people sleep and perform better. And because you're a listener of the Alcohol Free Lifestyle podcast, you can now get your pair and enjoy 15% off. To get the best blue light blocking glasses on the market, go to swannies.com and enter code JAMES at checkout for 15% off. That's swannies.com and enter code JAMES at checkout for 15% off.
Any questions?
That's not a question, it's a statement.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How are you with your friend? Like, my biggest struggle right now is I haven't met sober friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still very much living my life.
Yep.
How are you with all that? Have you found sober friends, or have you accepted that they're not going to stop drinking? I just have to do me?
So, the question is, have I found sober friends? And I still lean on this community really hard to keep those sober friends. And I have found a few in my community, but just a couple. But I do find that I'm hanging out more with those that drink less, not a lot. You know, the couples we used to go to dinner with, where we would just get lit. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. I just don't enjoy it as much, right? I've also found most of my friends drink less around me. Yeah. And part of it's because, 1 + 1 was equaling 8.
Right.
Right. So I'm not a ringleader. They're not a ringleader. All of a sudden it settles everything down a little bit, even my poker games and those kinds of things. But yeah, you kind of sort that out. I haven't lost any friends, but there was a dinner or two early on where, like, first time at dinner with a couple that you go to a lot and you don't order a drink. The wife's like, "What's going on?" You're like, "Oh, I don't drink anymore." And one of them said to her husband, "Well, you should do that." And I saw him look at me like, "Thanks, man." Right? I don't know if we've been to dinner with them since. They're still friends. But there's a little bit of that, but it sorts itself out. And you also make new friends, and again, those that are going to call you forward. So yeah, as we talked about a little bit yesterday, it's hard to go to the big parties. It's just, I like to go early, chat with people while they're still cognizant, make my way around, and then when it seems to be too much, I just take off. Any other questions, please?
I'm just curious about how you shared the journey with your kids, like that I don't know if they were in the home, but they're kind of going back and forth and drinking, not drinking, and then the information you have now and how that, I don't know if it influenced your son or that was separate, but just like how that worked with your kids.
My kids tell me they don't really remember me drinking that much. Like, they remember a few things, but I remember coming home under the influence and coming in the front door and they'd still be up. And I'm like, "Oh shit, they're still up," But now, when I first started down the journey, I shared it with them. And now we talk about it all the time. They know I'm here. They're excited for me to be here. My daughter, who's just got the singing gig, is a bartender. And I worry about her a little bit, but I worry about her a little bit. So it's an ongoing conversation, and they have both said they're proud of me. And my daughter, who's the apple of my eye, said it many times, that she's proud of me, that she knows that it's the right thing for me to do. And they both quit vaping. They both caught up in vaping in high school. If you got young kids and you think they're not vaping, they are, man. It's such another one. But they both kicked an addiction. My son too, and my daughter one, right? So we talk about addiction and dopamine a lot in our family. And it's just a healthy conversation. It takes time, right? What else? Please.
I think you're really onto something with leading companies to
Yeah.
their own. I had a situation in my company where I was really pressured to drink, and so I had a direct communication with our CEO and just said, "Hey, so I stopped drinking. I don't want to make a big deal about it." And he came back because he didn't really drink either, and he said, "Yeah, I know it's terrible, and I'm trying to influence some of the C-suite not to drink as much, and I've given them a challenge." And so I told him about AFL,
Mhm.
you know, Huberman, and all these things. And he said that, you know, he was trying to figure out a way to kind of help the
Yeah.
company. And so that was just our personal communication.
Mhm.
And then what he did was send a post on our intranet, an article about Silicon Valley going sober, because we're a tech company,
Yeah.
in tech company. And so that's all he did. And what was interesting is he got 0 likes. He got nothing, because everyone was, you know, their private wine collection, you know, it was this really disgusting, you know, very
Right.
blatant, you know, alcohol-fueled company. So he did his little thing,
Yep.
but that's all he did. And then I was just, you know, I mean, it was really, I was trying to take a stand, but I had to just kind of back it. And there were a lot of people that, you know, would try, and they tried to do things with their friends, but it was so lame, and it just failed immediately. And then I just continued to take endless shit from them. So,
Sorry about that.
So anyway,
Yeah.
but there are weak attempts that I think, but I think there's such a groundswell in society now, and even the CEO said, "Yeah, my kids barely drink. His grown kids. My son, you know." I think that the 20 to 30 somethings are saying, "Ugh, I don't want to drink." They're the ones showing us the NAs.
Yeah.
So I think we need to help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these senior level managers, which are all of us,
Right.
Right. The group
show the way. Really,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And I love what you did with, you know, get some dollar points, make it a, you know,
Yep.
a game, make it one of the health challenges.
Yeah. Right along with the fitness
Love it.
challenge.
And you, as a great, you know, as a leader, saying, "Hey, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be pressuring you." It's awesome. But
Thank you.
I think that's an amazing opportunity.
Thank you.
And a business opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. And I think what makes it work again is the dry January piece. 37% of people intend on doing dry January.
Right.
19% do, 15% succeed. So out of 37% that intend on doing it, only 14% actually make it 30 days.
Right.
So if we're in a non-threatening way, say, "Hey, let's all do it together." It's just, yeah, it feels like it works, right? And it's not that we're not asking not drink in August. Let's just do it during this dry January time. So thanks for the feedback. Yeah. Any others before I know we have lunch here and it's time to break? All right. I am actually boarding a plane in a couple hours. My son is rowing in a crewing competition tomorrow. First one we're going to get to go to. So I'm not going to be able to stay tonight. But I will be around for a little bit. And it's just been great to know you all. I'm on the polos. You can track me down if you need help, if you want to talk, if you have ideas. I love when people reach out, so please do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks for listening to the Alcohol Free Lifestyle podcast. I want to load you up with some free stuff right now. So if you want to go to jamesswanwick.com/guide, I will send you my Quit Alcohol Guide, which has helped 6-figure entrepreneurs and top professionals reduce or quit drinking. You can also text the word QUIT GUIDE to the number 44222 if you're in the US, of course. It doesn't really work anywhere outside of the US, but if you're in the US on your mobile phone and you'd like that guide, text the word QUIT GUIDE to the number 44222, or you can go to jamesswanwick.com/guide. If you'd like to schedule a free 15-minute call with one of my top coaches, just an exploratory call to see if or how we can help you, then you can go to jamesswanwick.com/schedule, or you can text the word Project 90 to the number 44222 if you're listening in the US on a mobile phone. That's jamesswanwick.com/schedule, or you can text the word Project 90, that's one word, Project 90, to the number 44222. Feel free to send me a direct message over on my Instagram account, which is @JamesSwanwick. You can also watch video episodes of this podcast and a series of other educational videos on my YouTube channel, which is James Swanwick 1, or you can direct message me on Facebook James Swanwick Official. And finally, a request. Would you please now write a short review of the podcast inside of the Apple Podcast app on your phone or on iTunes on your desktop computer? Would you please give the show 5 stars and write a quick 1 or 2 sentence review? This will help the show get in front of even more listeners, potentially transforming someone's life. You can rate and review the show inside of your Apple Podcast app on your phone or over on iTunes on your desktop. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you next time.